Hi, it's Elaine from Penguin Place Crafts. Yep, last night I got pretty scrappy. I just decided I didn't want to work on any of my big projects. So I pulled out my bag of scrap yarn. I'm going to have to screenshot one of the pictures when I introduce this bag of scrap yarn. I had it at 16 ounces, 1 pound. This morning I went through and I recaked everything to make them nice and tight, and it's down to 13.3 ounces. So I used almost 3 ounces of scrap yarn last night. What did I make? Well, these didn't come out of scrap yarn. I just had this yarn next to my chair, and these were on my to-do list. So I made a couple of pickles, emotional support pickles. I downsized them a bit. I did have them for $8 each, and I thought if I make them smaller, I could put them in my $5 bin and maybe they'll move faster. Whoop, whoop. They move pretty fast already. So I made 2 pickles. Then I told you, when I made up my yarn bag, I made sure I had white, yellow, and orange in there. So I made a candy corn. Then I thought, oh, the smile is sort of like scrunched on the bottom. So maybe if I put the eyes up a little higher, there'll be more room for the smile. And I switched oranges here. Let's see. Let's see how they look with the kawaii eyes. And then my husband said, you're making all these happy. Why don't you make an angry candy corn? Because, and I like, yeah, I know. Somebody's about to bite their head off. They're going to be angry. So I made an angry one. And there's another angry one. Oops, just dropped that one. The wrong spot. And I made one with a funny mouth. And I made one with another, like, sideways grin. So I ended up with 7 candy corns. I'd like to have 10. Maybe by the end of the day, I will have 10. And then I jumped off into another quick scrap yarn project. Let's see which one I make first. I made this one first. This is a free pattern on Instagram, which I will have to link because I have no idea how to pronounce that name. But I made 3 mini stingrays. So what is on my list now? I did retype my to-do list. I did very well at decimating my to-do list yesterday. So today I'm going to work a little bit, like at least 10 minutes. I'll probably look through YouTube, find a video to watch. Okay, while I watch this video, I'm going to work on this project. I think I have 4 projects up on my chair. I have the Boggy Creek blanket. I have the dragon. The sloth planter. If I had my list back here, I'd be able to just like boop, 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 boop. Sloth planter. Is that it? Seems like there's one other one, but maybe not. But work for 1 video worth on each of those projects. And, I may interest me. Okay, 1 video on this one. 1 video scrap yarn. 1 video on this one. 1 video on scrap yarn. And between those, try to get some Etsy listings up. Or update Etsy listings. And just try to organize for my next craft show. One thing I want to do, I have been doing this show for 11 years now. I don't know how many of those 11 years I have a spreadsheet for, but I probably have them for at least 6 years in a notebook. So I wanted to pull up West Seneca Fall, go through. Okay, how many items did I sell this year? And what was the price spread? Was I more like the $6 and under items? Or did I sell big items? I'm thinking with this show I sell more of the lower end items. So just look over what has sold in the past and try to lean towards that with setting up for this show. That's the plan. And I came up with an idea, and now I don't remember what it was. Oh dear. For the scrap yarn. Oh, I remember now. Okay. I have an idea. I'm going to make up a pattern that I have not made in years, so I can show you how it works up. Okay, that's going to make myself a note. Okay, I made myself a note. And now, an hour or two from now, when I'm, oh yeah, there was something I mentioned in the video that I was going to do. What was that? I wrote a note. Where'd I put the note? Oh dear. It's not easy getting old. What was the story I was going to tell you? I had okay. Last night, my husband was sitting there. Now, my husband is 8 years older than I am. So he's 71. He's sitting there and he goes, oh, car 54. What was the first name of Muldoon? And I'm like, that's before my time, honey. Oh boy, there was Gunther Tootie. Muldoon. What was his first name? So I Googled it. Found out. Francis. Called him Frank. Okay. But I had to admit, I had never watched an episode of Car 54. I knew that there was some like Car 54, where are you, in a song. So I went to YouTube. And since it's so old, the shows are now in the public domain. And you can watch them all on YouTube. So I started watching these old Car 54 episodes on YouTube. And I was just laughing out loud. I loved them. So maybe for my craft run today, when I'm saying, okay, I'm going to watch a video, they might not all be crocheting videos. Some of them might be Car 54, where are you? And I was telling my husband about one of them today. And I wasn't remembering the names of the characters. So I was saying the ooh guy. Well, that could be Arnold Horshack from Welcome Back, Kotter. The ooh guy. Herman Munster. Grandpa Munster. I have to learn the names. After I watch a few more of them, I'll remember better. So, I'm just coming up with these ideas. I just need to do some more organizing. As I'm looking at this scrap bag and thinking, okay, I kept saying I was going to make a spreadsheet, that I was going to get like my top 20 scrap projects and weigh my yarn before and after to figure out how much yarn that takes. And then put it in a scrap sheet. Like, okay, this mini loaf cat takes this much worsted weight yarn. This whale ornament takes this much worsted weight yarn. This mini stingray takes this much. So if I pull out a little thing of yarn, it's like, okay, this is 0.35 ounces. Which one of these can I make from that? That'd be very helpful for me. That would help me to win more often at Yarn Chicken. I don't like losing at Yarn Chicken. But then I have so much yarn stashed here and there, including little balls of yarn. A lot of times I can find something close enough that I can finish up, especially if I'm at the bottom of the body of a creature where it's not going to show unless you're like flipping it over and looking at the bottom. Yeah, that's one thing I want to work on eventually. I should add that to my to-do list. I should write that down on a little piece of paper and then forget where I put it. Okay. I am going to go out to my chair, fire up a video, and work on one of my current works in progress until that video is done. I do have one small work in progress on the arm of my chair that I should be able to finish up in one sitting if I really apply myself. Maybe I'll make a few more candy corns or a few more stingrays. Yes, I do have to make at least one more stingray so I can weigh the yarn and find out exactly how much it takes. Although three stingrays, little green one, pink one, green one, 3 different weights, or 3 different combinations. This one was, I think, a fingering yarn held double. So you can see it's just a little bit smaller, or about the same size, but just a little bit smaller than the worsted weight yarn. And then this baby green yarn I held together. I had some worsted weight that looked a little thin, like a thin worsted weight. So I added 1 strand of this to the worsted weight to make this guy. And he turned out just a little bit bigger. So 3 slightly different sizes from 3 yarns. Oh, we gotta hold them by their tails to make them all show together. There we go. 3 stingrays. I'm sort of silly today. Sorry. Well, maybe you like it. Maybe you like me being silly. Can't always be totally serious. I called about another craft show today. Usually I don't like to do shows in December because I live in the Buffalo area. And you never know what weather's going to be like in December. And I don't want to be committing myself to be driving 45 minutes in Buffalo winter weather. Because a 45-minute drive in Buffalo winter weather can turn into several hours. But I found out about this community tree lighting. It's like a 12-minute drive. It's very close to the show that I'm doing in a couple of weeks. Same town. It is December 7th. Is it December 7th? I don't even have all the details on it. She's going to send me all the details, like the times and the setup and prices. And the thing is, you have to have insurance. So I have to look into how much it would be to get insurance for a one-time event and just see if it'd be worth my while to do this show. I don't know where I was going with that. But I figure it's only like a 12-minute drive. Even if the weather is bad, maybe it'll take half an hour to drive out there. But if the weather is bad, then how much of a turnout are we going to have? If the weather is bad, I might have to just eat the cost of signing up and not showing up. I don't know. I did a show once in a blizzard. We were under a winter weather advisory. It was at the end of January or February, and it was at a fire hall, which was only a 10-minute drive. Probably took me 20 minutes, half an hour to get there. The thing I remember about it was you had to take an elevator up to the second floor to get up to the tables. And boy, with all these people coming in with their carts into the elevator, that elevator was just a soupy mess. Attendance was very low. Not all the vendors showed up. The vendor right next to me didn't show up, so I really spread my stuff out. I had like a bare table next to me, spread my stuff out, but that didn't help much. I'll have to put up here how that show turned out. So, winter shows can be iffy. I don't know if I've ever done really, really well at a show during December, January, or February. Just, nope. People don't come out to craft shows all that much in those months. Although there is a really big show. It's a juried show. And there's a dress code. I would not be able to go in my standard uniform of jeans and one of my crafting t-shirts. No, it has to be business casual. So like dress pants and a nice blouse or a dress or something. Okay, but that is usually a 3-day show, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's a half-hour drive, and the fee for it is like $400. But I think there would be the potential there for, over the 3 days, probably close to $2,000 in sales. Problem is you have to sign up way in advance, and we never know when our family Christmas is going to be that far in advance. So maybe I'll try to do their springtime show. They also have a springtime show. I'd like to get into that, get my foot in the door and see how I would do at one of these. There's Christmas in the country, Yuletide in the country, springtime in the country. Okay, this video is getting close to capacity for my phone, and I don't want to have a cutout like I did on yesterday's video. I did clean my phone up and take a bunch of videos off, so hopefully I won't be running into that. But I need to quit talking and go play with yarn. Bye-bye.